Hi everyone! I'm Mimi and I'm starting my hike on the Appalachian Trail today. Let's go!
Good morning. It's about 10:30. Gary just dropped me off at Garenflo Gap. Short day today, hiking into the Welcome Center at Hot Springs. So it's about an 8-mile day. You hear that crunch? That's ice. It was about 33 degrees when he dropped me off this morning. We're just kind of having to work around the Smokies a little bit. The Newfound Gap Road 441 has been closed for a few days now, and so I'm not able to get back on trail in the Smokies to finish up that last half from Newfound Gap to the Pigeon River. So we've just been kind of hopping around, trying to get some miles in where we can. And like I said, today going to be a short day. As you can see, there's still snow on the ground. Hopefully won't run into any ice on this trail, but let's get this day started. We should be done fairly quickly. We don't really have any big ups, so it's just kind of this small up here to the top, and then we start walking down into Hot Springs. So let's get this day started. Do a little trail cam this morning so you can get an idea of what the trail looks like. Sorry, I keep sniffing. The cold's making my nose run. Luckily, this section of the trail just has the snow on the sides, on the banks, but we're not running into any ice. I'll turn this off so you don't have to keep listening to me sniffle. Okay, I kind of wanted to touch base and go over what the past few days have looked like, because there's not really any footage for it. I guess I probably should start with the first half of the Smokies. So on day 3 into the Smokies, we got a bad storm, a lot of rain during the night. The shelter that I was in leaked, and a lot of the people on the top part of the shelter got wet. And then that top part started dripping some, and I was having to maneuver and move my sleeping stuff so it didn't get wet. And it was a very packed shelter that night. And then it turned to snow, and there were heavy wind gusts, and the temps were very cold along with that wind. And so the next day, I had pretty much waited out until 11 that morning to leave the shelter. hoping to have gone further, but that day going through the snow and some of the drifts up to your knees slowed me down. So that day was just a 7-mile day to the next shelter. And no footage on that. I do have a few pictures when the snow stopped. But every time I took my gloves off to do pictures and videos, my fingers instantly would go numb and be very cold. So I had to make a choice really not to video that day. And same with the next day. The next day, of course, you know, your shoes are frozen blocks of ice from the day before. And there's still a lot of snow. And at that point, some of the snow had melted and then over the night refroze. So that was another day that I didn't want to focus on videoing. I wanted to focus on making sure that I was being mindful of my footing. And so not a whole lot of anything that day either. So I apologize for those days missing. And hang on a second. Anyways, so then when I got to Newfound Gap, I had run into a ridge runner prior to getting to the parking area, and then there were rangers in the parking area encouraging hikers to get off trail because there was another system of bad weather coming through that was going to bring more snow and temps into the negative. So chose to get off there, but that storm wasn't going to come for 2 days, and then there was going to be the storm, and then the next day that was probably still going to be cold and bad weather, and I didn't want to take 4 zeros. So that is why I had chose to jump ahead and do a little bit of switching around. That's when I did max patch, and then also max patch to Garenflo, so that at least for those 2 days I could be getting some miles in. And then the storm came, and of course they've closed Newfound Gap Road, which is 441. That's been closed. This is day 3. I had full intentions of, we thought for sure today they would have 441 back open, and I had full intentions of finishing out the Smokies starting this morning. Had my big pack already. Knew it was going to be a chilly day, but you know, nothing that I couldn't manage. I think the low tonight was going to be 28, which my bag is a 10-degree bag, so that's more than adequate. We waited and waited as long as we could to see if they were going to open 441 this morning, and then about 9:30 we made the decision, well, we're just going to go ahead and drive towards Hot Spring, do the short little section between Garenflo and Hot Spring Welcome Center, and just knock that out in a few hours. Tomorrow is up in the air, so if they open up 441, then tomorrow I will get back into the Smokies. If in the morning 441 is not open, then I'm going to continue on from the Welcome Center in Hot Spring and do, I think it's like a 15 or 16 mile little section. So that is why some of the video footage is maybe a little confusing, or you think some of it might be missing. I did it. I have a few pictures. But I just didn't get the camera out a whole lot just because of the cold temps, and I don't like the cold. So I just chose to stay bundled up, and not to mention the fact that there were some places that wouldn't have been safe to have the phone out and walking. So I just wanted to touch base with everybody, make sure that that was clear or understood, and how I chose to do my hike the past several days. But anyways, just wanting to keep moving on. I'm trying to keep putting in miles where I can. And yeah, still walking in a little bit of snow. It's not bad. We're just going to kind of play tomorrow by ear and see what happens.
Thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe.